Life, though, is good for you, yeah?
It's pretty busy right now. It's pretty crazy. Very jet lagged. But yeah, I asked for it. So
You've worked for it.
yes.
And
yeah.
it's honestly, it is so good to see.
Thanks, man.
Because I know how long you've spent in the studio, crafting your sound, making the music, and to see the response that you're getting for it now, it's got to be blowing your mind.
It really is, man. I honestly feel like in the last couple of years, 2 years, I feel like something's clicked in my brain as well, like understanding the music and understanding what works on a dance floor and understanding, the old idea of developing hooks and melodies that people can walk away and enjoy. And I don't know, I feel quite confident, which is really nice.
And the new tune is a little bit of a departure in sound for you.
It is, yeah. I love disco, and I just wanted to challenge myself, really. I really wanted to challenge myself to do something that sounded sampled that wasn't. My favorite thing was sending this off to the label, and then a week later, all the label heads were like, where's this sample from? Like, none of us can find it.
Yes.
I was like, nah, sucked in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Saving Up, it's called.
Saving Up, yeah.
It's our Jam Hot Record of the Week this week.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's an absolute
I didn't know
belter.
that. That's sick.
That's why you're here.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet.
It's our Record of the Week this week.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah.
But
Awesome.
the tune, the thing that I love about it is, like you say, it feels nostalgic, but it's fresh. And it feels like right now where we are within dance music, everybody is trying to sample stuff. Everybody's trying to find that key nostalgic moment that they can add into their record, whereas you've created something new, but it's got that feel.
It's hard to do. Like, it's hard to find an original record. It's hard to find a record to sample that hasn't been done before, and there'd be enough to work with to create, a big enough idea to translate. Everything's been, it's been done to death 1,000 times, and it was like, look, how do I make it have that feel, that nostalgic feel, and having it carry over to the modern day 2023 dance floor. So
it's a bit faster than usual for you as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's only 130. I think it's like 3 BPM faster than the last one. But it's gonna if I keep releasing 3 singles a year at 3 BPM increments, we're gonna get pretty bloody quick, pretty fast.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
2027, we're up to 140.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Oh, whoops. I spoke too soon. We'll see.
Let's be honest though, that's where dance music's going right now.
Dude, I just got sent a bunch of promos by some friends, and there's some easy 150s in there. Like a friend of mine, Motez, from back home in Australia, he sent me a bunch of his. I'm like, it's full-blown techno. And I was like, dude, you were a house artist like a year ago. It's epic, though. He's smashing it. I just love where it's all heading. I just wonder when the reset point is, you know?
Yeah.
Do we get up to like 180 drum and bass, and then everyone goes, all right, this is ridiculous?
Well, unfortunately, being as old as I am, I remember when the reset point came before.
What happens? Tell us.
We got to drum and bass, and then it reset. Yeah.
I love that.
Literally.
I have been playing a lot of drum and bass in America, and they've been loving it, which is great.
You've been playing drum and bass?
Yeah, closing my sets. I think Dimension just did a remix of Rhyme Dust, which is epic. There's been a bunch of like bootlegs popping up of my records and drum and bass. I'm like, I'm just going to wrap up the set with this stuff. They go nuts, man. They go nuts. I think gone are the days of closing your set with like a slow sing-along. You've got to almost like, they're like kids at a kindergarten. You've got to like get all the energy out of it. It's like, I'm ready to go home, man. That's how I like to finish my sets.
What have the sets been like with you playing Saving Up? Because you've been teasing it for a while. What's the response been like?
Man, it's been pretty wild. I think the most exciting thing for me was like watching people start singing the chorus second time they heard it, the first time they've ever heard the record, they're like, they're saying, oh, I get it. And then the second time comes around, they sing it. I'm like, I'm onto something.
Wow.
Which is exciting. Nelly Furtado just texted me just before I walked in. She goes, just heard the
Wait,
one
second. I'm just going to pick up that name that you dropped. Oh, it's too heavy.
It is a heavy one.
What did Nelly say?
She said, what did she say? She literally said, this is 5 minutes ago, your new song is so bloody catchy. I don't know if I can say bloody on the radio. Bunch of open eye emojis. And I said, thank you so much. She goes, literally stuck in my head. That's a nod from the pop queen. So good.
You are all over the world at the moment. Honestly, as a fan of yours and as somebody who knows you, it's so good to see.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Because you can see that you're really enjoying it and people are really loving the vibe that you're bringing.
It's really exciting. I know I've got the skin tone of a DJ from Antarctica, but I haven't made it down there yet. Matter of time.
You've got an airport tan.
I do, yeah, I do. Studio tan, airport tan.
You are looking like you've been putting in the work.
Thank you, I think. I think.
It is a compliment. It is in there somewhere.
Dom weather dollar.
Dom weather dollar.
Dom weather dollar.
There you go. There's a job on the station. You can do the weather for us.
Oh, amazing. Oh, can I do that at the end of this?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
I love that.
We'll get the weather forecast up. Dom weather dollar.
I'm so down. Let's do it.
Now, we spoke very briefly.
Blackpool, 16 degrees. Is that a place?
It is a place.
Liverpool, 4.
Quite accurate for a British summertime, for end of summertime. You are best friends with another one of our Capital Dance favourites, John Summit.
Yes, yeah, Johnny boy.
How did you and John become friends? Can you even remember?
I can't remember. Oh, we met at a burrito joint in LA. We'd been messaging because he'd been sending me records for a while.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's catch up for lunch. And we were both in town. I didn't live in LA at that point. I recently moved there. And he lives in Chicago. We happened to both be there at the same time. And just talk rubbish over guacamole for like 2 hours and realized that we got along like a house on fire. So very similar taste, similar age as well.
Yeah.
He's late 20s, I'm early 30s. And yeah, just a lot of, and we both kind of have come up at a similar time as well. So we just have a lot to relate about. Similar experiences, similar tour schedule, similar age. It's kind of interesting because like a lot of the DJs that we know and work alongside are a fair bit older than us. So we hit it off because we're like...
You're the young guys.
Yeah, we're the young guys. We're kind of like, how wild is this? This is nuts, you know? We'll text each other and be like, have you had this experience? I'm like, yeah, man, it was a few weeks ago. It was pretty crazy.
I love that. I also love the fact that, you know, with what John's doing at the moment with him equally putting his energy into his label and bringing other artists through as he is his own career.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're thinking of doing at some point in the future?
100%. Definitely. I've got that in the works. I think it'll probably be an early 2024 thing. Yeah, I won't talk about it now, but I'm excited about it. Yeah. I think it's like that's something that I've always wanted to do I always find myself helping artists, A&Ring other artists' records. And, you know, I always get sent my friends and peer stuff for my feedback. And, yeah, I just love to be able to really help like lift people up and, yeah, do that. I think it's interesting. I think there's a lot of dance music labels out there, but I think mine will certainly have its own sort of unique flavour to it, which I think is important. It's important to stand out.
It's important to stand out. It's also important to invest.
Yeah.
Your time, your effort, your expertise, not just necessarily the money, but invest in those people that you want to invest in, that the music that you want to put out that's going to shape your label, and you spending that time A&R in that stuff, that's going to make a world of difference.
Exactly. Well, I'm kind of finding myself already doing it, but then it comes out on other people's labels and I'm like, I might as well start my own label and, you know, really be able to give someone everything as opposed to give someone, you know, 70% effort, be able to, you know, give it 110 and, you know, really, really, really help lift people up. So it's exciting.
I love that.
Watch this space.
I did see the video though where you were dressing up as John. Is that Halloween inspiration?
That's too easy. I think I did it a few weeks too early. He loved it, and so did TikTok as well. I posted on. I think I was with. I was with Sophie Tucker. That's right. I played a set in Vegas, and I went into my room and I walked out, and they started dying. They're like, I know who that is. I know who that is. I want to be where you are. Just punching my chest and kissing my fingers.
Is it Dom or is it John? We don't know.
You'll never know. If I had the guts to shave my moustache, that'd be a full commitment. But, you know, I think I'm one of those people.
We'll have to get a prosthetic. We could just do that. The thing that they did for like Mrs. Doubtfire and stuff.
Oh, you mean like put like what, like the shower cap look for a mo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've had this moustache so long that if I had kids and I got rid of it, the kids would cry. You know when you see those videos?
I'll tell you a funny story. My dad had a moustache when I was growing up. And the day that he shaved it off, I cried.
I have a very vivid memory. My dad shaved his beard and I was like, who is this man?
I don't know this person.
Yeah, I don't want to, yeah. Anyway,
we're going to keep them on.
I don't want to make you cry, so
no, please don't, not again.
Little baby jam.
The hardcore fans say that you two are their version of the Roman Empire. What's your take on that?
Yeah, there's a lot that I read online that's very questionable.
You've got some very big fans.
Yeah, it's quite funny. They bring some funny signs to the shows as well, which is I can't talk about them on the radio, but they're pretty outrageous.
I've seen a lot of them on socials.
Yeah, I bet you have.
And your comment section sometimes.
Oh, pretty out of pocket. Everyone needs to chill out.
I mean, some very thirsty people.
Census, yes. We need a, yeah. No comment.
Right, let's go to Nelly Furtado.
Yes.
Because I know that you were a big fan of hers.
Massive.
And now she's your friend.
That was growing. I actually told her, I used to grow up. There was a TV station, ABC, and there was a TV show called Rage that I used to watch every Saturday morning. It was video clips. And she was on it, like I'm Like a Bird. It was like early 2000s. Me and my little sister were like diehard Nelly fans. And when she reached out, she's like, hey, I love your music. Love to get your help on some pop stuff that she's writing. I was like, this isn't real, you know? And we, get along like a house on fire. Helped her with a bunch of her records, flew to Portland, got in the studio for a few days, and she turned to me halfway through it. She's like, I'd love to feature on a Dolla Club record. And I was like, called my sister. I was like, can you believe this? This is nuts. And she was just like, I don't know. She's like, she goes, I don't know what to believe anymore. She's like, this is all, she watches from afar. She's a psychologist based in Melbourne, and we live very different lives. She's, set hours, and I'm on planes and stuff. And she just sends me voice messages like, I'm so entertained by what happened to you the last couple of days. This is wild. But the Nelly Furtado thing's great. Her and I become really, really good friends. I've been house sitting for her recently.
What?
Yeah. She trusts me with her house. I don't know why, because I don't even spend any time at my own house. Very tenderly did the dishes. I was like, I hope I don't break anything.
You don't want to break Nelly Furtado's dishes?
No, you do not. No, you do not.
She might be like a bird, but she also looks like she packs a punch.
Yeah. She's so lovely. She's so nice. She's, nicest pop star I've had the pleasure of meeting. Just so down to earth and humble, and just genuinely about the art. I'll say, can you do some melodic runs like this? And I'm going to pick the best ones or whatever. And she'll just go, and I'm just like drowning in fire takes. I don't know what to do with them all. So
you've got to do an album of just ad-libs.
Yeah, I mean, that works. Some dance acts that just do that. What was that? Remember Tachami did that?
Yeah.
A few years ago? It's just ad-libs. I'm like, what are the words to this? But there weren't any. No. That was the hook.
It's a 7-minute record.
Yeah.
Progressive house.
Ad-libs. Just ooh-yeahs and uh-hs.
The fact that you brought Nelly Furtado out on stage at a good few of your gigs and watching her perform and looking like she doesn't quite realise the icon that she is.
No, that's the thing. Her humility is next. She's like, I'm like, dude, you just got to...
She's surprised that people go crazy. Yeah. It's Nelly Furtado.
I know. I brought her out at Lollapalooza, and girls in the front row bawling their eyes out. It was like the Beatles. They were like screaming and and I was like, well, this is turbo. You have been on our wish list for quite a while to try and get you into the studio, so we're very, very grateful that you're here today. Oh, man, thank you. I would have been here a long time ago. I just don't live here. It's a long way away. I know, it is. It is. And the last time that we saw each other in person was on a boat in Croatia. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was like slip, slop, slap, 70 plus SPF vibes. You were very, 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 very covered. Yeah. You've got to watch out. I've had some awful burns over the years. I've got, my Scottish heritage from Scotland doesn't do it. It really. Can you do the accent again? From Scotland, SPF 60. I'm sorry, but that's actually a really good Scottish accent. Is it? Yeah. I can say about 3 words. That's about it. But you've been on our wish list to be a guest here at Capital Dance. What's left on your DJ wish list? What are the things that you want to tick off? Man, I ticked off one recently, actually. Playing back-to-back with SOLOMUN. That was pretty sick. Ooh. We have such similar tastes, we figured out that set. Afterwards, he was feeding me shots like I was... like the world there was a tequila shortage. It was wild. And he's a big guy as well. He's not small. Like I'm 6'2", he'd be like 6'5" or something. I was battling. But it was good. Yeah, that was definitely a DJ bucket list moment for sure. That's got to be an amazing moment for you. Yeah, it's kind of weird as well. I think I'm really enjoying sitting in this weird space where I don't sort of get pigeonholed and I can kind of do things like that, Can work with someone like Nelly and then DJ with SOLOMUN and then, put out a disco record that makes no sense. Like none of it makes any sense. But that's the thing. It does make sense because the backbone of all of it is just really good music. Oh, thank you. Really good music with integrity. Thank you. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. How do you define integrity in music? The two things I think are completely opposite each other. Right. Credibility and integrity. Mm-hmm.
If you're doing something for credibility, you're doing something because you care about what other people think.
Yeah.
You care about playing that particular lineup, or you care about doing something that's going to make you look good.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something with integrity means I want to do this.
Because it's for you.
Because it's for me.
Yeah, it's personal. Yeah, I love that. That's great. I used to get caught up in that for sure. On the come up, I was like very much, how will this be perceived? How will this feel? And it's, I don't know, it's really cool. It's really good to just sort of, I felt like I've stuck to my guns and stuck to my taste. And it's almost like you're no longer chasing, people start to follow, And, the artists that you respect can see that and, connect with that. And they just get on board. Like we're chatting with a few people that are looking to remix this single at the moment. Super, super cool, credible artists. And they're like, I'm so down. I love it. It's, it's really exciting.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Thanks, man.
Who's the person that you've met on your journey so far that has fried your noodle the most? Bearing in mind you've done back-to-backs with SOLOMUN, Nelly Furtado is your bestie.
I had a pretty fried noodle when I chatted with him, actually. I was at Coachella. Damon Albarn they were like, Damon would like to meet you post Gorillaz set, because I just did a remix, the Gorillaz Tame
New
Impala
Gold,
remix. Yeah. And it was Coachella, so I'd had a few too many. I was like, oh no, this is terrible timing. Like it's my party day. I had like the day off. But they didn't care. They're like, come on, come and meet him. And it was a fascinating conversation. Such a lovely dude, brilliant creative. And
he plans to get in the studio with him, because I think you'd make great music together.
I would love that. I'll put that out there into the universe. We touched on it briefly, but I'm not sure. That's a hard man to pin down. He then turned me around and he's like, I'd like to introduce my friend Moz. And it was Moz Def. And it was the three of us having a conversation. It was really trippy.
Okay, that sounds like a setup of a joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Dolla, David Albarn and Mos Def are all in a corner.
Walking to a bar. And then Beck walked over.
What?
Yeah, because they were all obviously doing the performance, the Gorillaz performance.
Yes.
It was a real, I was a little fish in a big pond that day.
We should make that happen. We should try and throw that out into the universe.
I would love that. Damon, if you're listening.
Co-producer on the next Gorillaz album.
That'd be sick. I love helping other people achieve their visions musically as well. Like I feel like house music is sort of just the beginning of where my creative sort of thing starts. So I listen to pop music all day long, R&B, country, everything. So
you're a music producer, and that's why you can hear those influences in the music that you're making. And one of the tunes that we're going to play next, we hear your rave influence. We're going to play Miracle Maker.
Awesome.
Tell me about this tune.
This record, I actually wrote Clementine Douglas and Caitlin Stubbs, two very, very close friends of mine. They helped me with Saving Up as well. They're both incredible vocalists and
Is that Clem's vocal on Saving Up?
Yeah, that is. That's her pitched up, like 6 semitones. And Caitlin's in there as well, and my sort of dying cat vocal is pushed way at the back of the mix.
Now you're saying that. I'm going to say to you what I said to Calvin Harris.
In there as well.
I'm going to say to you what I said to Calvin Harris. You need to sing on your records more.
Yeah, but Calvin can sing. That's the problem.
He thinks he can't. You think you can't. I think the pair of you should maybe have a duet.
No. Look, I've heard him sing. He's a great singer. The man used to front a band. I watched him perform, God, it would have been like Big Day Out 2008 or 2009. It was like him with a however many piece band wearing a suit. It was sick. It was so good. I remember being devastated when he went to the DJ thing, and then after about a year, I was like, no, actually, this is pretty dope as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I definitely can't sing though. And as a vocal producer, like I can spot singers.
Yeah.
And I'm a savage critic, and I cannot sing.
So what would your main advice be to any budding DJs or producers that are listening right now? They might be someone who is a big fan of yours. They've got all of your records. They listen to your sets all the time. What advice would you give them?
A couple of bits of advice. The first bit of advice is actually not related to music at all. It'd be, if you want to be a touring DJ, go to your living room and find an armchair and try to fall asleep in it, sitting up. And if you can't do that, just throw the towel in before you even pick up Ableton or Logic or anything, because you're going to be sitting up in plane chairs for the rest of your life.
The truth.
Yeah. And I can't sleep on planes.
Can't you?
Nah.
Not even if you get like a cheeky first class?
No. If I'm like fully lying down and I'm lucky enough, yeah. But yeah, sitting up, I can't. Like I don't know whether I've got the world's longest legs. Like I constantly have people turning around and be like, get your knees out of my back. And I'm like, mate, this is a 9-hour flight. Can you just like, please? But yeah, that's probably my first bit of advice. Learn to sleep sitting up and then download Ableton. And then it's it. That's it. That's all you need.
That's it.
No, I'd say write music that you love. Write music that you really enjoy, because I actually know people who chased trends that they didn't love and they became successful. And now they're performing music that they don't really like that much every night. And I don't know what I would do if I was in that position. And then that combined with sitting up on planes, like, God.
Now, for anybody who doesn't know, what's the Dolla story? How did you get started?
I grew up in the school band. I played like alto saxophone and guitar and stuff. I actually can't play either of those instruments. It's been a long time. I think I gave them up when I was like 12 or 13. But I just was obsessed with collecting music. It was like the blog house era. And I used to come home every day from school and download like gigabytes of records and just destroy. It was like dial-up internet days as well. It's like my parents were like, what is this, Bill? And I got no idea. Can't help you. Maybe we're getting hacked or something. And then proceed to download 4 copies by accident of the New Justice album, you know?
Yeah.
But I was just obsessed with collecting records, and collection got bigger and bigger and bigger. And the natural progression from that was like my friends being like, Dom's obsessed with music. Come and can you do the music for my party? And then, you know, I was 14 years old, started DJing, borrowed some decks off a friend. I've actually never owned CDJs.
Really?
Yeah. I went from borrowing a friend's pair to playing in clubs quite young. And I played so often that I was just like, I can get the hang of this. I don't need to blow $5,000 on some decks.
What?
So I've never owned any. No. But
Pioneer, if you're listening, please can we send some to Dom?
Yeah, come on, it's about time, guys. I've been flogging you girls for ages. But yeah, I when I finished school, I went and studied design. Was a graphic designer and typographer. Went and worked for Frontier Touring, which is like the biggest big touring agency in Australia. Yeah. So I would design all the merch for all the artists that they came through. And then on the weekend, I just ran parties at clubs and DJ'd. And then I couldn't afford to pay a graphic designer, so I just got my practice in and did it myself. And then I only started producing quite late. I only started producing at like 21 or 22. So about a decade ago.
Was it purely because you wanted to make music that you couldn't find?
Yeah, pretty much. And I was just so inspired. You know, I felt like it just became a natural progression. Do you know what I mean? But I'm so glad I was a DJ for those years leading up to it. I feel like it's kind of easy to spot when, you know, producers start as producers and then move into DJs. But yeah, I think I'm glad I had all of that time collecting music, because the record collection's crazy. But I found my old hard drive the other day from like, would have been like 2007 or 2008. And I'm like, there's some obscure stuff on there. I'm like, what purpose did that have? Like half these records, you can't even like nails on a chalkboard, but I just wanted to have it all.
Yeah.
You know, I was like a hoarding penguin that just like wanted all the...
But it was the blog house era where you would be able to go to a blog and download 70 records.
Yeah.
65 of them would be absolute tripe, but then you'd find like a Mastercraft record, or you'd find Kid Cudi and Krukas, Day and Night, and you find it on a blog and go, what is this?
Yeah. Not to mention it's all like 92 kilobyte or 128 kilobytes. You can't even play it. No. Everyone's like at the party like, what is this?
But listen to it, it's so cool.
So sick. Yeah, that was a good time to be alive. Not to mention the fashion back then was gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
It's back now.
Fluoro's back.
Yeah.
Why are we dressed like this then?
Because we're
out of touch.
We're completely out of touch. We lived through it first time. That's what happens. If you live through a fashion first time, you don't do it the second time around.
Soon we're going to be wearing those Kanye shade glasses. Just like...
Shutter shades, baby.
Shutter shades.
I have to ask you this question because I asked Fisher when he came through.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Australia right now that means that Australia is really leading house music in particular?
Very small place. Live for the 9 to 5. Love to rip it on the weekend. I feel like it's a very small population, so everyone like tastes move quite quickly in unison. Once one person, sort of the zeitgeist, catches on to something, it very quickly like rips through the nation, which is a good and bad thing, because things that are popular one year maybe non-existent the next. So I think it's very musically progressive. I feel like in a place like America, you can have a career, you can have a moment and it'll be a career forever.
Yeah.
350 million people, you start touring there and by the time you reach the end of the country, a whole year has passed and you can do it again. Where in Australia, there's 4 or 5 capital cities and, you know, it's done in a month. You know, people get bored of you real quick.
Yeah.
You got to, I found that I had to sort of leave just because I wanted to work full-time as a DJ producer and there's only so many cities that you can tour.
I'm just saying Swedish House Mafia had a good run. Australian House Mafia. I'm just going to throw it out there. Just for an EP.
Can a mafia be more than 3 members?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Eric Prince was originally going to be the 4th member of Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Maybe there could be like 20 members and I'd get a weekend off occasionally. That'd be sick. I'd love that.
Dolla, you are welcome back here any given point in time, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Appreciate you.